You're still watching Prime Morning. My name is Roslyn Felly, and this is the News Flash segment, which is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still and still phone, Papa Papi. Whatever gadgets you're looking for, whether mobile phones, television sets, CCTV cameras, worry no more. We've got you covered. You can actually download the app on your phone, which is the Franco Trading app, or for further inquiries, visit our website, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still and still, phone Papa PFA, and this is the News Flash segment. I've been joined by two gallant men. I'll have the other two joining us pretty shortly, but let me introduce those who have joined us this morning. I'm here with Dr. Joshua Zaato. He is a political or policy analyst with the University of Ghana. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, Rosemary.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Great, it's good to have you here.
Nice to meet you.
Great. And also, representing the NDC this morning is Honorable Timothy Awantim Atabwade. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning. Rosemary.
You know, when you walked in, I thought it was your birthday. You look good.
Every day is my birthday.
Great.
Once the mercy of God and His love shines on you, every day
definitely
is a celebration.
fantastic.
You must acknowledge that.
That's fine. All right, so you're also going to join us this morning. You can join us through your text message, either on WhatsApp or on Facebook, as we're streaming live on Facebook. Today, we are going to take a look at the Tamale by-elections that happened over the weekend, where the NDC had their by-elections, and one particular person stood tall. We'll talk about it. And then we'll also talk about Sam George versus MultiChoice Ghana. It's caused a stir, whether you like it or not, on social media, in your homes, everywhere. Let's hear your voice about it with regards to the fact that Honorable Sam George says that he's standing his grounds to make sure that MultiChoice Ghana will reduce their prices by 30%. Well, MultiChoice countered it by letting us know that they were not going to reduce the prices. But then NCA also came in, because Honorable Sam George had called on NCA to shut down MultiChoice. As of now, people are still watching their MultiChoice. Yesterday, NCA released a statement. We'll definitely delve into that as well. Let's take a look at what the newspapers have for us this morning, and then we delve into our conversations. But don't forget to send your messages to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. I'll start with the Ghanaian Publisher newspaper. The Ghanaian Publisher newspaper. Ashimo under fire to resign over Singapore scandal. Azuma Resources hails Abua for role in dispute resolution. U.S. cuts Ghana off MCC aid. DSTV prize war, Sam George caught in falsehoods. And this we'll definitely be talking about. Like I said, send your messages to us for that. Mahama leads National Sanitation Drive. And let's see if we have some stories in the center page as well. All right, so yes, WAEC releases BC provisional results for private candidates. Talking about that, we do have a documentary that we'll be delving into with regards to BCE and what has been happening behind closed doors. So you need to stay glued to your television set for that conversation. Mahama invited as guest speaker of 2025 GJA Awards, and Breast Care International praise for cancer awareness drive. That will be all for the Ghanaian Publisher newspaper. The next newspaper is the Economy Times newspaper. The Economy Times. Cocoa Board begins servicing restructured debt, but restrictive new EU regulations begin at year's end. Cedi falls 13% in third quarter, but stakeholders are beat about current trend. Gold price could hit $5,000. Goldman Sachs warns amid investors rush for safety. Now, talking about that, this is actually a world thing, because I'm hearing even in Dubai, gold has gone into the highest ever. The next newspaper is the New Independent newspaper. The New Independent newspaper. Don't politicize tribal conflicts in Team Forjo cautions amidst Beiri crisis. Petroleum broker declared wanted over alleged fraud. Some stories here as well. National Sanitation Day returns. Government sets new accountability framework. Honorable, I know you are very much into the topic. We'll be talking about it very soon. It's family. All right, we'll talk about family after the show then. Obeda Sawa Evening Chambers honored with others for shaping Ghana's global reputation. And Dr. Kingsley Agyemang calls for Ghana's assessment system overhaul to address persistent exam malpractice. And like I did mention earlier, this conversation will definitely be coming your way this morning at 9 a.m. And so make sure you stay glued to your television set for that. The Ghanaian Times newspaper is the next newspaper. 8 perish in road crash at Comanche. And talking about road crashes, I don't know what is happening, but it looks like it's becoming it's becoming too rampant lately. You know, almost every day you wake up and you're hearing of a road crash and you're asking yourself what's happening. Is it the drivers? Is it the roads? Is it street lights? What's going on? Is it the type of cars we are using? What is going on? What is causing this? And I'm hoping that, you know, we'll definitely get to the bottom of why we are seeing too many road crashes. Too many. I think this year has recorded way more road crashes than any other year. So hopefully something can be done about it. Professor Alidu elected NDC parliamentary candidate for Tamale Central by-elections. A relaunch of National Sanitation Day. President rally citizens, announces performance assessment framework for MMDCEs. That'll be all for the newspapers. So the Ghanaian Times newspaper actually is talking about our very first story that we are discussing this morning. And so I'll go to page 10 and use that story to bring us into the whole conversation. Since those of you who are following the Tamale by-elections, you are very keen on it. We know that the NPP came out to let us know that because of what happened, the plane crash that took the life of the Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, they were not going to contest that seat. Hence, the NDC has decided to contest. But other political parties will also be contesting. So it's not just the NDC. It's not a free ride for them. No, they will contest with other political parties as well. Now, Professor Alidu has been elected NDC parliamentary candidate for Tamale Central by-election. And talking about that, he did win with a huge margin. Now, you'll be wondering, what margin did he win with? He won with 840 votes out of 1,511 votes that were casted. This man won with 840 votes. Now, the next person that came in second won with 536 votes. I have my guest here, and I'm happy that we have a policy analyst in our midst this morning to help us with this conversation, because one would ask, how did Professor Alidu stand so tall amongst the other 11 contenders? Yes, there were 11 contenders. There were 12 people who were contesting for that. And out of that, this man got 840 votes. How did he do it? Does he have something special that the others don't have? Was it more of how he campaigned? Or it's more of what he can give to the people of Tamale Central? And so, Doc, let me start this conversation with you. Let's even take a look at who Professor Alidu is and how he managed to win with such landslide victory.
Good morning to you and good morning to all your listeners out there. Today is my first day on the show, so I want to thank my big brother for coming, and glad to be here. You know, Professor Alidu was my immediate boss. He was the HOD of the Political Science Department, and I've worked closely with him for the past 2 years. And I must say, without any hesitation at all, he's a wonderful boss. He's a great guy, and I've personally learned a lot from him. He's a worthy winner, and he will make a wonderful MP for the people of Tamale Central. This is what I also know. Professor Alidu was really close to Honorable Mutala. He was, remember, he was the head of the department who helped chair Mutala's thesis defense committee. He worked with him. And I remember one day I was driving with Professor Alidu, we were going somewhere, and Honorable Mutala was calling him. That was before the elections. I think the man wanted to finish. He wanted to defend his thesis before the last elections. So he had called, of course, which is the obvious thing, called the HOD to find out what is happening. But you know that the PhD got to a certain time that once you've submitted it to the university, it's out of the hands of everybody.
Yeah.
The graduate school must then send it out, look for and then set it and the whole thing. So they were that close. So I see Professor Alidu being a worthy replacement of Murtala for Tamale Central. He's a smart guy, he's an intelligent guy, has the ability to bring people all together. So I actually congratulated him for his victory, well deserved, well earned, and he will be a good MP. So above all that, you also saw that you want to say, how was the gap so big? What's happening?
Yeah.
Part of what you saw in Tamale Central should tell you things that are to come within the NDC. If you watch carefully, several theories were being bandied around as to what was happening there. And the ultimate was that there were 3 candidates representing 3 vital pillars of the NDC, preparing for the NDC's who should take over from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Yeah.
It was that theory. Now, Professor Alidu is a very close friend to Honorable Aaron Idris. Get no effect. So, representing where you can refer to as the Aruna wing. There were 2 other candidates who were also supposedly or allegedly or theoretically representing the Asedu Nketia wing and the Julius Debra wing. And so, from this contest, the Haruna wing trounced all of them. That is the other narrative coming out. So the question then becomes going forward. You are likely going to see more of this because when it gets to Tamale, or Northern region in particular, Honorable Aruna Idris rules and his section usually rules. So it tells us also of just a small taste of what to likely expect going forward of these powerful people within the NDC, laying their boots, preparing their groundworks to replace or to be heir apparent to the incumbent president. It's going to be a very wonderful thing to watch. But so far, this is what it is. And you see, that is sometimes what by-elections in general all over the world actually do.
Yeah.
People use by-elections to either test new narratives, to test new policies, to test new candidates. But whatever you do, there's sometimes a time for you to sit and say, how are we doing? And they become the best. And so for me, it's a good thing that this has started, and let's say it went out very well, it went good. My former boss is definitely going to Parliament. I wish him very well, but it also tells us the good things that are to come, and I'm proud of that.
It's not cast in stone he's going to Parliament because it's going to be another elections, right?
Yeah, it's cast in stone. He's going to Parliament.
It's cast in stone. You don't think anybody else stands tall if they do have the elections on the 30th of September?
I'm going to say this again.
Yes.
I don't know, this year or next month, they will swear in Honorable Professor Alidu as the new member of Parliament for Tamale Central. It's done though.
Okay.
I just hope he has a party and he invites me. But you know, he's a good Muslim. They won't sell booze there, so I don't know whether he will invite me or whether I will enjoy it.
Parties are not made of only booze.
I'm just saying, I don't know.
No,
I don't know whether he will invite me or whether he will invite me if I will enjoy it. But I know I hope there's a party. Then that I'm invited.
Okay.
Those of us who want to trade a book, you can take your booze.
You know, why would the party be in Tamale? I'm here.
You're here.
You mean we should travel to Tamale and have the party?
Yes, the party
Nana
will be in
Yosafo
Tamale.
has joined us.
Will he
He's representing the people.
pay for the ticket? Okay, I'm talking about me and my former boss. How does this
Anyway, gentlemen.
It should excite you that you are visiting your former boss's constituency.
Yes.
Remember,
You see, and I
he will be waiting
Nana,
for
let me
Accra
introduce
here.
you. Let me introduce you.
But the important thing is that you will be contributing if you also travel to his constituency.
The guy has won already. I'm just saying,
So
okay, he could do 2
on
parties,
that
one in
note-
Tamale and one in Accra. I'll go
On
to
that
Accra.
note, let's not forget that the NPP has said that they are not contesting that seat. And so as it stands now, just like what Dr. Zaato is saying, it looks like Professor Seydou Mahama
They say
Ali
you're too
is
close to
definitely
everyone.
going to Parliament.
dangerous.
I have here Nana Yosafo, who has also joined us, and he's representing Movement for Change. Nana, good morning. I hope you're well.
It's been a while.
Yeah, here's a what?
He's created problems for us. They keep shifting us because he was too close to you.
Okay, so on that,
That wasn't
note, let me bring honorable.
He intentionally did that.
All right, so honorable. Let me come to you. You know, with what Dr. Zaato said, we take a look at certain individuals that were actually contesting this particular seat in the NDC. Now, 3 persons were backed by 3 people that their names have come up as hopefuls to be flag bearer of the NDC. Now, if we take a look at this man, Professor Seydou Mahama Alidu, who has, whether we like it or not, stood tall amongst all of them, what does it mean for the future of the NDC?
Let me say good morning to Dr. Zaato. It's a privilege to be with you. This is the first time, anyway, for my brother who've encountered a lot of time, to your good self, and to a lot of your viewers that it's been some time.
Yeah.
I've been on the platform.
Somebody say you are eating money.
Yeah, that's why I told you every day we are eating money by His grace.
We are eating
We are
money.
eating money by His what?
Grace. Amen.
So, like Dr. Zaato said, I met Dr. Alidu, I think 4 years or is it 3 years ago, when the former MPs, we organized a workshop, and he was one of the resource persons. And from that time, I got to like him, coupled with his public appearances and his deep analysis of policies and political issues in this country. And when I looked at the list and he came tall, I wasn't surprised on grounds that he has been very active in the media and in the eyes of the people. Because he's an affable young man. You cannot do anything than to like him. You may have your political differences, but when you meet him, I think you like him. And these are the ingredients that contribute to a lot of politicians winning at any time they contest. And for me, I think that I want to say congratulations to him and his team who worked hard to ensure that over 10 candidates that participated, he came up tops, not just that alone, but overwhelming, winning, and trashing all of them. When you look at the background of other candidates, they were equally good. And if Dr. Alidu were not there or did not participate, they could equally replace him as good candidates. And I want to see Dr. Alidu in Parliament because we would want such people to continuously come to Parliament in order to build a resilient and a thought-provoking Parliament that would ensure that when policies are brought before them, they do them dispassionately, not because they belong to a particular political party and so on. So for me, I want to wish him well, and I think that it's a good representation. It's a yardstick to measure other members of Parliament and so on, and also going forward, how are we going to be conducting our primaries in future to ensure that the best from the constituency come to represent them. This is a choice of the people of Tamale Central, and by and large, a choice of the people of Ghana and so on. Like my brother said this morning, it's cast in stone. Like it or leave it, he would be in Parliament by the grace of God, apart from anything else. And that he's coming to wear the shoes of a very formidable member of Parliament, who unfortunately lost his life tragically. And where I'm hoping and praying that he'll be able to fit in perfectly, to be able to help the desires and aspirations of the people of Tamale Central, to take on such big responsibility. Honorable Murtala was known to be a very active and supportive member of Parliament. When he passed on, we heard Honorable Haruna Idrisu taking on the responsibility of Murtala paying the school fees of some medical students. Be that as it may, we feel that Dr. Ali, looking at his demeanor, he has what it takes to be able to carry the people along with him. That is what the people are looking for. And I keep telling people, a time will come in this country where money that has been the bane of our political campaigns would be fizzled out because the people are looking for development. It has shown in recent by-elections. It is going to show in our governance system that money may play a role, but the people are awakening to the call that development is far better than eating a day when someone bribes you with 10 cities, 2 cities for you to vote for him. We are moving from that. We are even moving from the tribal politics. It's coming, and it's nearer. And I keep arguing, wait and see. Now people are not going to be voting based on your geographical location or your political background. They are going to vote for which political party that brings development to them. It does not even matter whether you are twins. One is the president and one is the vice. Even if you are twins and you bring development to me, the individual, the people who vote for you. And I would want to live to see that day in the annals of the political journey of this country. You see, looking at all the issues, I think that our people in the MPP should have been part of this process. Even though they withdrew early, knowing very well that they could not make a headway, they hid it under the cloak of the fact that they were not going to participate because Mutala ABC, thinking that would have also relinquished our intent to contest the Akwetia. I don't think that is the issue. Political participation, that vigorous processes, enables whosoever candidate that wins, comes out with the best policy and so on. It doesn't matter whether your votes go up or come down, but to participate is very important. We are running a parliamentary, participatory democracy. Once you are running participatory at all levels, political parties should not shy away. They should not run away from participating. It does not matter whether you win or not. It should not always be about winning, but the vigor you bring in, but the fact that you challenge other political parties to bring out their best, including you, even the potential loser, I think that should be where we should be going.
No, but Honorable,
we should not look at always winning.
You still didn't answer the question that I asked, which I think that as an NDC person, you have to answer for the people. Now, we take a look at these three main persons. We are looking at Julius Debra, General Mosquito, Haruna Idrisu. They have, the flag bearer ambition. Okay, let's look at the voter turnout with this one.
Look, let me tell you something.
You want to plead the fifth?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Look, let me tell you. Haruna Idrisu, Julius Debra, Asirin Ketia, and all other people who are interested are fully qualified. And if, according to Dr. Zaato, not from him, these are narratives or theories he has heard from other. If it is true, so be it, because they all have the capacity to lead the political party. But we are not yet there. 3 years from now, I think our party says that, look, it must be 1 year before we go into the election. But I think that the best candidate will come out. Look, the delegates I told you, don't take them for granted.
So this one doesn't tell us anything?
It has not tell us really anything. But I think that Dr. Sedu really was the choice of the people. It has not mattered by coincidence if he's a good friend. I don't know if this is a good friend of mine. He's my classmate. We've been friends since secondary school up to today. Does it mean if something happened and I'm pursuing it, Haruna should run away? We don't run from friends or brothers. We support them when they are going forward. Right. So if that is the case, fine. But for me, I think that it does not really impact on a primary that is going to be held in 3 years to come. Anything can change.
Okay. All right, Nanayao, let me bring you in. Former member of the NPP. You are no more part of NPP, but I'll still affiliate you with them,
Why?
even though you are not part of the NPP. The NPP has decided not to contest.
I am movement.
Yes, movement change. I said that's a former.
Yes.
I had to bring you. Okay, so we also have Kwesi Kwarteng joining us on Zoom. He's representing the NPP. Good morning, Kwesi.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Great.
And good morning to my seniors inside the studio.
Good morning to you.
Okay.
Long time.
So should I go to Kwesi before I come to you?
Any of it.
Okay, so Kwesi, you have decided not to contest this particular seat, but Ghanaians feel that is a seat that you should contest. Will there be any reconsideration somewhere, somehow?
Good morning once again. Let me say that even at my own level, and of course, I have to issue a disclaimer that this is not the position of the party. Usually when party makes a decision, whether you agree to it, so far as you are a member of the party, you are bound by the decision of the party. But even at my own level, I felt strongly that that decision ought to have been relooked, because I felt that even if we go into that contest and probably even have lost the contest, it was just a fine opportunity to market the candidate that we may be presenting in subsequent elections. But I mean, such decisions are beyond my pay scale. Ultimately, national leadership, mostly National Council, made that decision. I'm sure they made a lot of consultations and considered a lot of variables before coming into that conclusion. So for now, I don't see any U-turn. I just hope that maybe subsequently we as a party, before arriving at such decisions, we also consult broader. Sometimes politics is not just about winning. Sometimes you lose to win. President Mahama was in court even after losing the 2020 election, despite the fact that it was so clear that he really did not have any legal case in court. But he went to court sometimes to play to the psyche of the people, to create the impression that he won and he was cheated. even though unanimously all the judges voted against it. But I mean, some way, somehow, the party base will recognize the efforts he made in even challenging the outcome of the election in court. And subsequently, it serves as as part of the processes to also unite them, bring them together, and prepare for the subsequent election. I was of the humble and the considered view and opinion that this election we shouldn't have boycotted. Same, but I mean, come to think of it, too, there is also another school of thought which I've also argued that it was also part of the bargaining chip. And of course, it was a moral bargain to the NDC that, well, look, if you are also not participating in the Tamale Central election, we expected that you also, exchanged a gentleman's deal by also not participating in that Kwetia, so that the parties will be able to hold on to the seats as where they were voted for during the 2024 general election. But it appears that the NDC had a very, let's say, creative and smart way of hitting back at us. In politics, ultimately, you can only learn and be better. I do not make those final decisions. I do not see any U-turn as of now until maybe you have any contrary briefing to that. But for now, we can only congratulate the winner. It is clear that NDC is going to win that seat. It's been their seat. I think MPP has won it once. If my memory serves me right, the data will be there. It's not really a safe seat for the NDC. It's been heavily contested until recent times. But I mean, from the projections, if NDC is obviously going to rival the other political parties, which does not have the dominance and the numbers that like the MPP, is obvious that they are going to win. So what is being equal, we can only wish them good luck and congratulations in advance, at least from the briefing that we know that MPP is not going to contest us at now. Dr. Seydou Fita, for instance, was my friend, where we did UDS first degree together, and subsequently we all parted in different ways. I was in a health program with him. Then later, I changed into the humanities, and of course, he continued. And I was expecting him to also do the magic, because in terms of the social media space, it appeared he had dominated. But like Dr. Zaato was explaining, it had more to do with the kingmakers than popularity. Who the kingmakers want to, that is where the people's direction go. But I mean, ultimately, I also want to take the opportunity to also congratulate both. Sometimes destiny has its own way of correcting things and bringing people into the limelight to take responsibility. As of now, as a party from the people, we can only wish the best.
All right, so from the party, NPP, you think you've learned a bit of lesson where in the near future you will not withdraw from such elections?
No, that is my personal perspective.
That's your personal perspective. But do you think this decision can affect the party's popularity in 2028 elections?
Oh, I feel it's too remote. I mean, we are rebuilding, we are reorganizing, we are re-strategizing. We just lost an election. I mean, the worst defeat that any political party has ever had in the history of our political dispensation, at least from 92 till now. And so some of these decisions, whether they are good or bad, I mean, it happens. It's a phase that we are going through. On the substantive question, I believe that it's too remote. We have about 3 years to go. People are going to, the government obviously has some goodwill. So in terms of most of the by-elections or elections that you have in the immediate terms, chances are that the government is going to win. Because, for instance, if the government is going to campaign on the fact that they are going to, just like Akwetia, they are going to develop the place, obviously the opposition party will have nothing to campaign upon, unless, of course, to campaign on that track record. But it's the same track record that the people rejected you in our last election. And so I believe that as time goes on, the variables will change. We have about, 3.5 years to go, all things being equal. The general election will have its own dynamics. A lot of variables will come into play. And I do not subscribe to the school of thought that this will mirror 2020. No, there are a lot of things that will change. And in any event, Tamale Central for some time now has always been a safe seat for the NDC. So, whichever, even if you had contested, chances are that they were still going to retain the seat. But for me, the block also be the topic that has been generated around, especially relative to this discussion about by-elections, whether or not we should, as a state, be spending so much on by-elections, or whether or not we should be looking at a review that at the end of the day, the party that was in power previously can propose or be retain the seat. It's a conversation that we may also have to look at in the broader perspective. Other than that, we go for by-elections. Of course, we know that it doesn't matter. Sometimes the party in power, incumbency advantage, taking advantage of the security system, the resources, everything, all the state apparatus, and the will of the people mostly is better. Like we saw in Amplified, and also partly we saw in Akwetia. I am of the view that as we develop as a people, as a country, we should be bold to also have those conversations. Is it really relevant if we do the cost-benefit analysis, the economic implications, the legal implications? Has it really been beneficial to us as a people? If not, I think we should have a real look at it. I don't see the reason why Asante, for instance, has been traditional. Asante law, for instance, let's say if they have traditionally been voting for MPP, the previous election, they voted for the MPP candidate. I mean, yes, practically, we know that chances are that they are also going to vote for such a person in subsequent elections or in the by-election. So in matters like this or in situations like this, we should give the party that was already retaining the seat the opportunity to continue retaining it, rather than just going into by-elections, beat ourselves, worry ourselves, a lot of security implications and threats. And at the same day, I don't really see the impact of that one MP in the House of the Parliament, especially with this current Parliament. So going forward, we can also look at that conversation.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll definitely be coming back to you. Let me come back into the studio, and I'm bringing you in this conversation now. So withdrawing from such a sensitive time, you know, someone will say it's a respectable thing, and others will also say, no, it's not. It's actually more of like a coward approach. What's your response to this?
Thank you, Rosie. Good morning, and good morning to my colleagues. Except for Kwesi Kwatin, the good morning does not go to him.
Why?
Yeah, he knows.
Hey,
so, yeah. And so
Because they are passed somewhere.
Which is not known to us. I have lived almost all my youthful life in Tamale Central. I was born in Tamale Central. I grew up in Tamale Central. I started my politics in Tamale Central. In fact, Mustafa Ali Idris, the late Mustafa Ali Idris, who was MP, who was regional minister, lived behind our house in Tamale. And so when it comes to the politics of Tamale Central, at least, I have been a witness to it. Tamale Central is more of an urban constituency. Tamale Central is the CBD, the Central Business District of Tamale, and is more of a cosmopolitan. And so you would have more of the Ashantis, the Ekwapems, you know, all of these people in there. Tamale Central has more of a higher literates. It comprises of the businessmen and women and almost all the estates and stuff all around. So it's an interesting constituency. You should be able to cut sides when it comes to Tamale Central. If not, you will not be able to gather a lot of votes. And if you take a look at the data, as the recent one, the 2024 elections, you will notice that my brother, the late Mutala, had in excess of 52,000 votes. Now, Tamale Central is a constituency where you would have to put in much effort to be able to bring out the people to come and vote. You know, I mean, Obia than fear. So you need to put in, they should see something extraordinary about you, something appealing to come out to vote. If not, they will just be there. And so the late Murtala put in a lot of efforts to gather the votes that he did in the just ended 2024 elections. So it goes beyond the political party. All right. And if you look at the early days,
it's more of the people, right?
If you look at the early days from 1992, 96 down, it's been NPP, NDC, NPP. Then when this man crossed carpet, Professor Wayoseni, then it went to NDC, and that ended it with NDC. And so it's an interesting constituency. But as we speak, looking at the data, Tamale Central has become more like a Bantama or a Menchia. And of course, I would say Menchia because Tamale Central also hosts the palace, the two palaces in Tamale, the Dakemes Palace and the Bipinais Palace. They are all in Tamale Central. So at the end of the day, I would call it the Menchia of Tamale. And so it's an interesting constituency. And if you look at the personality of Professor Ali Seidu, you should understand why the people or the delegates of the NDC of Tamale Central would want to prefer Professor Ali Seidu to any of the candidates. Tamale Central has always voted for very matured, very, very matured personalities. I mean, I give you an example. What's his name? The late Mustafa Ali Idris. All right, if you look at his track records, if you look at his personality, if you look at his academia, okay, having taught from Tamale Secondary School all through and his business life up until he became a minister. If you look at the likes of Professor Wayoseni, if you look at the likes of your former Roots Minister, what's his name? Lawyer Inusa Hussein, you understand? And now the late Murtala Muhammad. So if you look at these personalities, all right, you should not be surprised that Tamale Central went in for the kind of person they went in for, in the person of Professor Ali.
So you won't say that there's a backing of Honorable Haruna Idrisu that made
we would come there.
Okay.
We would come there. All right.
It's just because of time. We have another topic.
Let us deal with who Professor Ali Seidu is first. Because you see, yes, I'm going to wrap up soon. They took all the time, don't worry.
No, they didn't.
So you would have his academia records, okay. And for the records, currently he's my professor on a program I'm doing, international politics and diplomacy. And if you look at his personality, if you look at his academia, if you look at the media exposure he has, if you look at the international exposure he has, if you look at his contribution to national politics and discourse, compared to the other 11 persons who were also interested in the seat, I mean, Professor Ali Seidu far outshines all of them. Let's be blunt. You understand? My brother Kwatin was talking about what's his name? The young man's name, Fita. Yes, Fita, and he was talking about popularity. Popularity on social media does not sell. You understand me? If you are popular on social media, the seat is not a social media seat. The Tamale Central seat is a big seat. You understand? And so you should be able to put in somebody who would make an impact in Parliament. You are looking for somebody, a good replacement. If you look at the heights of Murtala Muhammad, where he reached when he took the seat from Inusa.
A minute for me because you've been speaking for 5 minutes.
To where it's the same. Maybe I'm at the time of it also. To where he was because Kwatin spoke for 8 minutes. Where he took the seat to where Murtala was now. You were looking out for somebody who would be a perfect replacement, not somebody who would bring the seat down. And so I think that the delegates did a good thing. Now, what we should be looking at is whether or not Prof would be able to migrate smoothly from the academia to the field of practical politics where he has to serve the people, not in books, not in research presentations, not in policy frameworks, but to serve the people. Because you see, Ghana's parliament is not just policy formulation. It's just not the legislative work we are doing. Ghana's parliament goes beyond that. So whether or not he would be able to migrate smoothly. As for the seat, it is already for him. I mean, I think on the 30th or so, I think they've put out a date. It's already for him.
It's 30th September.
Whether the NPP contest or not, I mean, it's a done deal.
But you think the NPP should contest?
I mean, they have a lot of work to do. They still have not been able to deal with the issues of the just ended 2024 elections. They have not been able to sort themselves out.
You don't think
they've not been able to actually...
You don't think contesting will be a part of solving with their issues with what happened in 2024?
If they are going to do what they did in Akwatia, where they just handpick somebody to go in, where they go and the national executives do not even have hotels to sleep in, then it's better they do not contest at all.
Okay. Let me go...
And they are not doing anybody a favor by not contesting. In your preamble, you talked about respect.
Yes.
And please, the Constitution is a Constitution. The law is the law. All right? Let us separate the
so I asked the question,
social
is it a sign
morals.
Of respect or is it a sign of cowardice?
It's not a sign of respect.
Yes.
I would not say is they are being cowards. What I would say is that they are not just prepared for another defeat. That's it.
Okay. Doc, I just want to find out from you. Kwesi Party made a point and saying that, you know, in sensitive cases, we should scrap by-elections. What do you think about it?
No, that is a very, very, I don't know, that's a retrogressive idea. I don't know where that concept comes from. We are practicing representative democracy. It means that the people must have a say in who represents them. The people get to choose who represents them. That's the fundamental concept in representative democracy. So if the people choose you and then you die, the people should also, again, have a choice to decide who leads them again. It's a very, very, very basic fundamental thing. And the only way the people get to choose again is if you go back then to ask for their mandate again. So if you say that, then what are you saying? Imagine you are now saying that, if the person was NDC and the person dies, let the NDC replace the person. Well, how are they going to do that? What about, remember, when you become an MP, you are not just an MP for one section of the political party. You're also a section of the people. It's possible that after some time, within some time, the political party or the person has got a track record. For instance, see, one of these, we roped in, my brother roped in equity and other things. One of the things that's happening is the time that all these elections are happening. Political parties, when they win power, they have a window. They have a honeymoon period, beautiful, blissful area. Two things happen within that honeymoon period. Almost all the time, the opposition is in disarray. And in fact, if you look all over the world, it's not just in Ghana, all over the world, they are certain truisms. The moment, especially if you are in power for that long, the moment you leave, the opposition becomes in disarray. Because there's no leadership, they're looking for new leadership, they're just suffering from a loss, and everything becomes bleak. At the same time, the government is riding high. You've just won a massive victory. And you are just introducing your policies, which are all very popular. You still have very popular politicians because they just won. Some of them are yet to even start implementing any of their policies. So it's still lofty. It's still all ideals. It's still all ideas. They have not, a lot of the people in the government say, they are yet to get their hands dirty.
Right.
They are yet to be bruised. So because of that, you then see that most oppositions this early becomes difficult to marshal forces to do that because some people are asking, how would we move, where do we go? So yes, based on these other things, a lot of things change. So for me, it is wrong. Anybody who says that then maybe you are ignoring the fundamental idea in representative democracy. Because then do we throw lots to determine who becomes the next member of parliament? Then there's something then happen then. When you also do that, you provide a motivation for, again, let me say, taking care of MPs. So we want to increase our numbers. We know that, okay, if we kill this MP, if we eliminate this MP, they'll have a by-elections. And this by-election may help us. You begin to incentivize other non-democratic ways of handling critical issues. We had a very tight, a near-even parliament in the last parliament, where almost the life of every single member of parliament became so critical to how we govern, we don't govern.
Right.
Imagine somebody realizes that, hey, you just won an election in our stronghold. You just won it. But that if we have a way of taking you out, we can win that seat back to shake the balance of power. You don't want to be incentivized, and that is why you must always go back to the people. Any process, any activity that involves going back directly to the people to make a decision should always be welcome in a democracy.
Right. Okay. Let me read a few messages that have come in this morning. This one says, good morning to you, Madam Roslyn, and to your guests. Let me use this opportunity to welcome you back, Madam. Thank you so much. Madam, the good people of Tamale Central have spoken, and we thank them for the good and wonderful selection they have made. We hope and pray that the good professor save the people to the best of his ability, just like our late Alhaji Murtala. May his soul rest in perfect peace. But to tell my NPP brothers that even if they decide to contest the seat, they will not get anything, not to talk of going underground to push for an independent candidate. The seat is a safe for NDC. They should always go by their words. Madam, my regards to the most humble and hardworking MP for Mion, Alhaji Misbah Adam, and this is from Sumani Hamza. Good morning, beautiful Roslyn. Good morning to you. You're looking great this morning. Oh, thank you. Love to see my senior, Honorable Timothy, on air. Congratulations to all who contested in the Tamale Central primaries. Let's all forge together in unity. Long live NDC. Long live NDC Ghana. This is from EA Metal Nunu Jr. Just one more, and then we can go ahead and do our next conversation. Kefrin Pong says that, good morning, Roslyn. I knew some George was telling lies when he came out to post DSTV has agreed to reduce their charges. The Communication Ministry should tread cautiously with DSTV matter. Going after DSTV is like reintroducing betting tax. The youth mostly depend on these two for survival and happiness. If only the ministry have alternative that can replace DSTV services, else they should stay off. Personally, using DSTV is a choice. If you can't afford to stay away, as the president has directed for all state officers to stop subscribing to DSTV, yet we all saw the sports minister watching Ghana-Chad game on DSTV. In any case, what is the strength of the city today that you still want them to reduce their charge? Talking about that, let's delve into our next conversation this morning. And it's all about Honorable Sam George versus MultiChoice. It's been ongoing for over a month now, where Honorable Sam George came out to let us know that he was in talks with MultiChoice to reduce their prices by 30%. After that post on social media, MultiChoice came out to let us know that they were not in the right frame to reduce their cost because of certain things that they couldn't share with us. Afterwards, we saw the minister come back to let us understand that if they do not reduce, he was going to speak with NCA to suspend their license. Now, shortly after that, minister comes back and makes us aware that DSTV has agreed to reduce their prices by 30%. But over the weekend, DSTV made us aware that they had not come to any agreement. And then the minister also came back on social media to let us know that he was going to make sure that their license was going to be revoked by NCA. Now, the beautiful part of this conversation is that NCA issued a communique, and I'm trying to get NCA's communique to all of us to let us understand what they said with regards to what the minister told them. Let me try and find it 1 second. Okay, so it's here. And National Communications Authority update on DSTV pricing in Ghana. Accra, 7th of September 2025, the National Communications Authority has received from MultiChoice Ghana its response to the notice of intention to suspend their authorization and request for their pricing model. While the authority reviews their submission, there have been further engagement with MultiChoice Ghana regarding its public statement dated 5th of September 2025, and the following clarifications have been obtained. Number 1, MultiChoice Ghana agrees with the directive from the Honorable Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation for the establishment of a stakeholder committee to evaluate DSTV pricing in Ghana, and that they intend to fully participate in this work. Number 2, the outcome of the stakeholder committee would be determined at the end of its work. Number 3, MultiChoice has confirmed that it will respect due process and the laws of Ghana and its people. The first meeting of the stakeholder committee shall be held on Monday, 8th of September 2025, that's today. The authority shall provide further updates on this matter in due course. So as it stands now, they haven't agreed to reduce, but there's going to be a stakeholder engagement again. Maybe they will revise the 30% to maybe 50, maybe 20, maybe, I don't know, or maybe the 30 will happen. But people have also complained about the posture of the minister, that's Honorable Sam George. Some people are saying that this could actually affect, businesses, some businesses, especially investors coming in, would maybe be thinking twice about coming in to invest in Ghana, because this is a company that is here to invest, and whether we like it or not, is boosting the economy. That's what some people are saying. But what do you think about it? Send your messages to us as well. So let me start this conversation with you, Honorable Timothy Awantri-Batabwadi. Minister says it has to be done. Now, this banter has been ongoing on social media, not behind the scenes, but it looks like, Minister says one thing, and then we hear MultiChoice say another. What does this mean for our future with regards to stakeholders or investors?
Yes, I think that multinational corporations must also go through the reset agenda that we are going through. Just as Ghanaian companies are going through the reset, just as Ghanaian institutions are equally going through reset, multinational corporations must do that. History will tell us that even before the 1948 riots, the people of this country rose against multinational exploitation in the Gold Coast. That culminated into the 1948 riots. And when you even read about the reasons for the 1948 riots, they would tell you that the fleecing of the people of this country through multinational corporations, the Lebanese, the Syrians, the Indians, and then the Europeans, was what culminated. That was the biggest issue. And we cannot allow all the time, under the clock of fairness, to allow this institution to continue to do that. Multinational corporation has been in this country for the past 3 decades. And for the past 3 decades, they've been exploiting us. You see, the most interesting thing about them, anytime you subscribe to them monthly, and then you travel, you are unable to watch, and you travel, and then the date expires, you lose your subscription completely, you must renew.
Yeah.
MTN has gone through, that is why we now can buy data and get better at the quality and the quantity that we want.
So are you surprised at the posture of MultiChoice?
I am surprised because, look, let me read something. Because this one was, they said that, I'm just paraphrasing, MultiChoice has operated in Ghana for over 3 decades. It said it endeavors at all times to keep DSTV subscription fees as low as possible, despite the extremely challenging competitive and microeconomic environment in which we operate, without compromising on customer choice and the quality of the services. We have been repeatedly been bombarded with the same programs over and over and over again. Sometimes you get tired of them. So what is the quality and the choice? I'm coming. I'm coming. You are talking about microeconomic environment. What is a macroeconomic environment now? If you were doing that in a challenging macroeconomic environment, is it the same thing now? When fuel prices, when inflation, when the stabilization of the cedi and other factors have brought things to not an even kill, but at least it has brought issues under control. And then one of the issues that caught my eye, and I've been trying to look at the statement, is that, look, that when they agreed with the minister, they said the minister should allow them collect the high prices, but the revenue should not be transmitted to DSTV headquarters. What does that mean? What were you pulling the minister into? What does that mean? And you must know that during our research, we said that even ministers of state and government appointees would not subscribe to DSTV and so on. I believe that DSTV has operated in this country for long. They've operated in sub-Saharan Africa, including Nigeria and other areas. In the case of Nigeria, the representative of the people of Nigeria ordered that they should stop the increases, and they obeyed. You go to Togo and other areas, the prices are affordable. These days, they've even put in some prices that you can afford, but all is a fluke. And I think that they should agree with the minister to count. The minister wouldn't have come out a figment of his own imagination of a 30%. Calculations would have been done properly to know that even with the reduction of the 30%, it is still worthwhile. You still make your profits and sell.
Okay.
You cannot just say 30% without no calculated mathematics to ensure that while I ask you to reduce 30%, are you making, are you making profit to be able to pay your overhead, pay your employment, your bill for your employees, and still make a headway? And I think there should be competition. Government should allow other equally important choices elsewhere to come in. When there's competition, these things will not come on. But when a single multinational company feels that it is the only one and then we have no alternative, that is where these stands come.
All right.
You remember, just I want to enter on a note. You remember on the frontier health services that were doing the COVID testing, when the Ghanaian people mounted the pressure and government coerced at the time, they reduced and yet they continue to make profit. Do you remember that? You also remember NCA and other multinationals. So for me, the minister will be meeting them today, and the minister himself is presiding. He knows what it's about. And I want to congratulate the minister for taking such a stand. It is not in any way going to prevent any international business from operating. It has nothing to do. You operate under regulation.
Okay, Honorable.
You operate under law.
Let me move to Nanaya.
And you must do that.
Nanaya, what do you think is driving the minister's strong stance?
Ghanaians. Absolutely. Ghanaians. George is in to serve the people of Ghana. What has been the cry of Ghanaians? The cry has always been that the charges are high as compared to what we have in our neighboring country, Nigeria, Togo and other places. Is the dollar performing better in Nigeria than in Ghana, fundamentally? It's not. Ghana is performing so well. You understand me? The statistics are there. The data is there to show. So why are the prices better off in Nigeria and in other countries than in Ghana? And let me tell you, there are many Ghanaian subscribers who pay through Nigerian accounts. I
heard about that as well.
This is no secret. There are many, many Ghanaians subscribers here in this country, and MultiChoice is aware. And see, when some of these multinational companies, and we have to say this, you know, crime is not just committed by an individual. What they do is that they all have other businesses, and they enjoy some of these goodies when these troubles occur. And so I will not be surprised when even some of these staff have their own companies in Nigeria that subscribers in Ghana pay through, and so they make commissions from it. And so they would always want to frustrate the Ghanaian subscribers so that we use the Nigerian channel. But be as it may, George is the head of communication ministry, and NCA is the regulator. NCA is under the Ministry of Communication. What does the regulator do? The regulator enforces the rules, they monitor performance, you understand? The regulator ensures compliance for the good of the people. And so if this is what the people are saying, and this is what they want, that is what the minister would lead us to.
Are we not having the same people, same Ghanaians coming out to say that the posture of the minister is wrong? Same Ghanaians saying that if, DSTV is cut out, they'll miss out on their sports and all of that?
See, the problem is people not wanting to miss out in this time of industrial war. But the truth of the matter is that if there is no war, there can't be peace. The multi-choice people are riding on the fact that Ghanaians, the only chance or alternative Ghanaians have is multi-choice. And that is why they are behaving the way they are behaving. And so they know that subscribers would make noise. In Ghana.
So it's about time we allow, right?
This is an opportunity for the minister to push and allow other multinational companies to come in. And the other thing we should also do is for us to push for the consumer protection bill, the act. We need to push for the consumer protection. The Ghanaian consumer is not protected. And that is why we would have all of these charges.
We operate
what was the voice of MultiChoice when Nigerians had requested for the reduction in the prices, for them not to push the prices up again? We are in this country. Some of these things happen. I remember there was this year, Kofi Kapito requested that all Ghanaians should put off their phones for just 24 hours. And let us see if the telcos will not listen to what we want. Let us shut down, I've stopped using DSTV anyways. Let us shut down our system. Every home should shut it down and not subscribe and see whether or not MultiChoice will not come and sit and reason with what we are saying. We are the consumers. We are the consumers. We are the customers. We are the clients. And we are saying that, looking at what is happening, the charges are high. Are they able to tell us how much they make for a year? Are they able to tell us the cost of production that they are talking about? Is it different? And they would play us this way because they think that Nigeria has a bigger market. And Ghana...
And we are bigger than Togo.
Togo has a small market.
I'm building a point. But they should also understand that whether small or big, we are a market. Honorable was making a point. He says that he subscribes, he travels, he doesn't watch.
Yes.
For a month, he comes and it's off.
It's off. That's
where does money go?
Anyway, Nana, Dr. Zaato kept, shaking his head. I don't know why he's shaking his head, but he can tell us. Why were you shaking your head, Dr. Zaato?
Thank you. It's because what we are seeing at the NCA, between the minister and the DSTV of MultiChoice, we can decouple it to 3 different stages to try to understand it. One, from the minister's perspective. From the minister's perspective, we are glorifying amateurism. We are glorifying amateurism because this is what you see when youthful exuberance leads. Before people don't sit down to think, and before people don't sit down to understand what they are doing. The minister is demonstrating that he doesn't have the competent skills and abilities to negotiate and to get a good deal. And that his approach to this negotiation is at best amateurish. You just gave examples. Let's give it. Why did they respect Nigeria and didn't respect the minister? Why did Togo? Did you say big Togo, small country? Why did they do that? Why did MultiChoice do that? Why did they choose to do that? So you are beginning to understand. Look, so far, this country, we have said that the youth must be seen to be leading, youth for people. We've seen that in this government, there are 2 key critical ministers that have been led by very young people. You can talk about the Minister of Foreign Affairs, you can talk about the Minister of Communications. And you are seeing the actions and inactions of these 2, what they are doing to us. You've seen what the Americans are doing to us. Now we are seeing what MultiChoice is doing to us. There has to be a problem somewhere. There has to be a reason somewhere why you are doing this. Ask myself, look, 2, look at the government. If you want to issue a threat, if you are a cabinet minister, in a senior cabinet minister for that matter, and you are issuing a threat, people must take that threat to the bank. People must know that not only will you follow through, but that you have the ability to follow through. If not, it's an empty hoax. How many threats have the minister issued so far?
And we still haven't seen that.
Exactly. So it tells you that they just consider that is hot air. And it is going to permeate If MultiChoice is calling your bluff, you say MultiChoice, I will shut you down Saturday. MultiChoice say, I see your trick, I double dare you. Do it.
And you didn't do it.
Who chickens out? The minister. Whenever a threat is issued against MultiChoice says, bring it on. And almost always is the state of Ghana that chickens out. Why? How come we are always those that are withdrawing? How come? It has to tell you something. One,
that's something we don't know.
Either they think that you don't have the balls to go carry on what you're doing, or they think you don't have the expertise to do that. Either way, they don't take you serious. Either way, they believe that you have not got what it takes. And there's a reason they are doing that. Last 2 weeks ago, the president was in Japan and Singapore looking for FDI. Investors talk. Investors watch the markets. How can you go tell me in Singapore to come and invest in your country? And then I look at the business news in Ghana, and here you are harassing, intimidating.
But would you call this harassment?
It is.
Why would you call it harassment?
Because, again, thank you, let's look at it. We have market forces.
Wait, let him make his point, please.
We have market forces to determine this. If you are telling me I operate in an open market economy where demand and supply determines this thing, one, has MultiChoice, what's the name, committed any crime? Has it violated any regulation? Has it done anything wrong as a corporate citizen? No. It hasn't. So why are you telling them to reduce their prices if you also, and then you go out and tell another investor that we operate an open market economy? Those two things, do you think they are lying? You operate a price control system or you operate an open market system. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot go to China, you cannot go to India, you cannot go to Japan and Singapore and say, our economy is open, come sell your product. And so long as you are a good corporate citizen, you obey our laws, our regulations, operate very well. And then on the other hand, they say, because see, whatever you are going to tell the investors there, another president is coming to tell them.
But Doc, as much as we operate open markets, we also have regulations for these foreign investors in the country.
Yes.
And so they don't come in to take advantage of the people.
Have you told us that they are breaking any law? Have you told us that they are breaking any regulation? That's my point. If the country of Ghana now starts, if we sit down and say, hey, listen, we don't like how these people are doing, is it a policy we should change? Is there a law we should change? Then change that.
Okay.
Change the regulation. Change the policy. Go to parliament and do that. If you don't do that, you are picking them out, then it means you have something. Why are you signaling out, what's the name?
But we saw it with the telcos, didn't we?
But that's the point I'm making. What experience did we learn from that? It's not enough that we saw it. What experience did we learn? That we are going to use the state force and cajole and harass and intimidate and eventually blackmail companies to reduce their prices. If we saw it, what lessons did we learn from the telcos? After that, what informed us? Did we sit and say, listen, hey, this is what we've learned. Let's do it. Secondly, this is the point I want to make. You then tie it down. I've never seen a social democrat fight so hard to protect the interests of bourgeoisie in the community. I've never seen that. In the typical class warfare, social democrats side with the proletariat, the working masses of the world. I've never seen them do this. It's when you look at this through an ideological spectrum, then you begin to understand that probably the INDC is ideologically confused. Because consuming, MultiChoice, one, it's a choice. Two, it's not a necessity. Three, if you can afford MultiChoice, a multi-TV in Ghana, you are a bourgeois. It costs you between 300 and 500 cedis to what? Subscribe to MultiChoice every month. You know in this country, that is somebody's monthly salary. You know that.
Yes. So you're
saying
that
is somebody's monthly salary. The men and women like those of them here, these two guys who are rich, and you probably, you have the...
I don't have DSTV.
Thank you. Like them, he can afford to have...
I said open, I don't watch open.
Who can afford to what? Have DSTV, charge a travel and committee. That is excess money you've left sitting there. If you have that amount of excess money you put aside, you are not the proletariat, you are not the working masses of the world, you are a bourgeois. If a minister is fighting for the interests of bourgeois, that is turning down the whole social democratic ideology on its head. Let me tell you what I think is a priority. If you go to Sakai in Tumu, Sakai is a community in Tumu, they have network problems. Telecommunications, phones literally work in Sakai. If you go to Nahadekwe in Tumu, Salays, they hardly have. There are so many places in Salays that are dead zones where people cannot make common calls. If this was the fight the minister is fighting, I would cheer him on. If the minister was saying that I want to make sure that I want to force that every community has this thing, but not that you want to take on something like multi-TV. If you're also doing that, do it through a policy.
You prefer it?
No, do it in the process or do it through the law. Okay. Let everybody come into this country to run such system know that this is what this government stands for. It's transparency. I'm an investor sitting in Dubai. I'm an investor sitting in New York. I'm an investor sitting in London, thinking I'm coming to invest in Ghana in this sector. I should be able to know everything about this. And what is the government policy on what? Because now it's like you are picking and choosing. It's like you are saying that I want to punish you, MultiTV, probably because I don't like you. I want to punish you, MultiTV, because I have a problem with you. When you do that, you are picking winners and losers in what's supposed to be a competitive market. The signals are bad. The ideas are bad. Look, let's always make sure that whatever we are doing, we're learning. Let's also always make sure that policymakers understand this. You're personalizing. Tomorrow, there's a new minister there. And that minister decides that, you know what? My next target is not DSTV. My next target is NCA.
Must we see it as a target? Because this is a case whereby the consumers also feel. Because you see, when they reduce the price, the consumers will benefit.
Consumers have a choice. He doesn't have DSTV.
No, but this is a case whereby, you see, we saw a message coming through.
Yes.
And the message says,
we
want to watch. Yes, we all, everybody.
This is my first bite, remember?
Your first bite is all about. It's even more than the two of us. What we have spoken.
I am not surprised at your submission because probably one you do not have a business background. You understand me, and so I would understand. You are doing purely politics, which to me would not help the people of Ghana.
He has a policy background.
Yes, policy is not business.
He's doing politics with it because he's a political researcher.
But if you say what you say, it's not fair.
No, he's
but the man is here. He can defend himself.
He's
allow the man to
politics. No, I have.
I understand.
No, my apologies, Rosie. What I'm saying is that his expertise is politics, and that is what he's doing. So I acknowledge it. Yes.
Okay. Is your expertise business?
Everything.
Okay. All right. So on that note,
I'm glad at least I have an expertise.
Yes.
So I'll speak to that expertise.
Speak to politics.
That's what I'm saying. That
it won't benefit
the policy. What you are doing is called policy obfuscation. You are showing that you are all over the place. What is the government policy on pricing on this consumption? What is the regulatory framework for that? Because I've made a point. I'm happy you say you are a businessman. Businesses like clear policies. Businesses like to understand and know what they are going into. Businesses like to understand the risks involved. Businesses don't like to be handpicked and to be personalized and penciled down for harassment, because that's the point.
The question that I was going to ask, I just remembered. Now, when the minister gets the price to be reduced, it's not going to the minister's pockets. It's going into the consumer's pocket. We got a message coming through, and the message is that boys want to watch the football game.
Yes.
You see, so whether we like it or not, it's a necessary evil. But then
no, it's not. I disagree with that premise.
Wait, for the boys, it's a necessary evil.
I disagree with that premise. Go ahead.
They don't want to miss out on the football games, and so. But the minister says, I also want to make sure the Ghanaians are comfortable because they went out there and they voted for us.
You see, where I'm talking about the policy confusion. The football season just started when? 2 weeks ago. The minister took office when? When the minister take office? Somewhere in March? Didn't the minister know that the football season will start? We all know when, in fact, this football season, we know when to start, when to end. When the football season was on break, if you are somebody that is serious about that, doesn't that give you that what we call a policy window to address it before the season starts? Why do you wait?
It started before the window.
No. So why you concluded then? You see, that's the problem I'm talking about.
Okay.
You sit down and you ask yourself, because see, okay, this is the window I have. When this window comes, the biggest bargaining power, let me put it this way. If the biggest bargaining power of DSTV is the football season, you know that. You take it off the table. How do you take it off the table? You start the negotiation and at least get a framework to end the negotiation before the football season starts. Okay. When you do that, you are now competing on a level playing field. That's what you do. But when you don't do that, you then wait until what? The football season has started. Now, DSTV, MultiChoice now have their biggest trump card to play. Now that you are going to them, they'll play the card. That's what I'm saying, that it's a risk of what? A lack of coordination among themselves. You don't negotiate with somebody when the person is on their highest. You negotiate when you think that the cards are in your favor. In this time, the cards are not in the minister's favor, the cards are not in Ghana's favor, and the cards are in DSTV. That is why DSTV can call your bluff. That is why you will tell them on Saturday, I will revoke your license, and they will tell you, bring it on.
Thank you very much. Honorable, I want you.
You see, this outburst from Dr. Zaato, I thought you would have been speaking on behalf of the people of this country. This political shenanigans is not going to say anything.
You know, I like the fact that when I am talking, no, let me say, you see, when I like the fact that when I'm talking, they are allowed to tackle me. Oh, also tackle them.
No.
I sat down and I watched them.
You know, today is the. If you call your ministers and your MPs are amateurist and youthful, and that they are exhibiting exuberance in terms of policy, I think it's unfair. We've had octogenarians in this country, people over 60 who have run this government aground. With all the experiences, what did we get? We got a baller economy. And we should support our youth that have been given positions. Once they are on track, once they've not done anything that is against the law and the regulations of this country, we should support them. We cannot allow multinational corporations to continue to fleece the people of this country.
Then why do you keep on talking them? Why do you keep on inviting them to the country?
Who invited them?
You did. The president was in Singapore.
What is the nexus? What is the nexus and what is the connection? How do you reconcile the two statements you have made? The president is inviting investors and those who are. So we should allow those who are here to fleece us. And the government should, every responsible government across the globe must take the interests of the citizens first, because they voted for you with an entrusted power to act on their behalf. And we are acting on the behalf of these people, the people of this country. We came into this government with an agenda to reset. I told you from the beginning that we are not resetting only Ghanaian institutions, even multinational corporations. Doug is a political science like he knows what went into the disturbances of the 1948 riot. It has been there. How multinational corporations have fleeced this country. As I talk to you, Doug is aware, the person is that. So, please. Multinational corporations have used the back door to steal a lot of money from this. We studied this so much. Should we continue to sit down and allow the people to do that?
The law.
And I told you that no. And you said, no, please, what law? What law? That's the law. We are enforcing the law. Oh, no, please. We are enforcing the law. The law is there.
The government will take part in how you
the law is there. We are only enforcing it. Don't fall to that. The law is there. There's a law in this country that about consumer protection.
Yeah,
don't we have that law?
Yes.
What does the law say?
So have they break the law?
Oh, and who said we are asking them to go in our court? That's why Abosokai people today are saying that they are going to close. What do you call it? Foreigners short because they are flattening the law. So, Doc, it's not about we should change the law and regulate. Which law? The people have been in this country for the past 30 years. We're only enforcing the existing law that give us fair prices.
There are regulations.
Yes, give us fair prices. Don't give a price that we cannot pay. And if you use the back door to cheat me, you've allowed him to go slow on.
That was your major position. This is now you follow. I should also have the same time to follow up because you did your major.
It's not luxury. You see, gone are the days when you say a car is a luxury. Cars today has become a necessary tool because when you look at the functions of a car, it's more than just those days.
But the STV is the luxury.
No, that's why you say because if
we have
please let me come.
Exactly. I'm all for localization.
When you drill it down, because it serves some communities there. Because when you get the communities come out to look at it and you use it to educate them on health issues, on environmental issues, and so on. It moves from a luxury commodity to a commodity that becomes serving the ordinary people in the community. There are some areas, even at the evening, only one fellow has DSTV. He goes there, he picks it there, people watch, and then they're educated and so on. It makes people stay away from crime. But that is not an issue that you should use that to exploit it. Why? We are talking about reducing it by 30%. Tell me, the telcos you rightly said this morning went through, and I cited an example to you. Look, check Health Frontier Services that was set up because of health issues in this country. When we pushed for them to reduce the testing, they still made millions of. That means that at the height at which they were doing the testing, they were exploiting us. No government allowed a citizen to be exploited from the days of creation up to today. You must protect the interests of them. If not, you have no business being in power.
Honorable.
So I think
the 30 seconds that you land, people have an issue with the fact that DSTV keeps calling,
No.
honorables.
Yes, they will give them a long road to. No, we are dealing with. No. Because DSTV is not going to. DSTV, because they don't have a competitor. I've talked to government should allow other competitors to come.
Okay.
We are not breaking them.
I agree with that.
And what we are doing, we've given them the loan. Let them go to, because it's an international business. You don't just cut them off, and because they are calling your blog, you should immediately shut them down. Let them go to, because you may face international court of arbitration.
All right, thank you very much.
So let them go to the long haul. Document it. Document every process. When you finish the documentation, then you can
please come.
put it. But the law is there. We are enforcing the law.
Thank you very much.
Zaato is doing politics with this, and this will not help the country. We are all consumers. You understand me? And the minister is trying to push an opportunity for us to be able to afford to watch our games whatsoever we want to watch. I have never been for DSTV anyway. But the point is that in Ghana, we operate the cost-based pricing.
Yeah.
In Ghana, we operate what we call the value-based pricing, and we operate what we call the competitive-based pricing. These are all different pricing regimes that people use, all right? And depending on the sector in which you find yourself. Now, we are saying that DSTV is not giving us the prices, the realistic prices on the ground as compared to neighboring countries. How do we know this? Now, prices are determined or controlled by, in the open market system, by inflation, mostly by inflation and forex. That's exchange rate, because they're multinational. Have we been able to reduce our inflation? Yes.
So they talk about microeconomic
Is forex stable in this country? Yes. So if these are two major determinants, all right,
they themselves said it.
Then they should be able to work on the price, and that is where the minister stands. That is where Ghanaians are standing, because we are performing and doing better than our neighboring countries that have better prices. And of course, whichever stand and posture what's his name? Sam George is using, it's excellent.
But what about DSTV's posture?
That is where I am coming to.
Okay.
You understand? We are a sovereign state, good, first of all. Number two, we have regulations in this country. The fact that the president has gone to Singapore to invite and to court multinationals to come into this country and build industries does not mean they should come in and cheat and steal from the people.
So sack them.
No, you don't sack them there. We said
please. No, this is not your main. No, this is not your main. No. You see, you saw what you did to me.
Let him make his point. I beg you.
You did that to me. That wasn't your main point.
No, wait, please let him make his point.
No, that wasn't his main.
I'm not doing politics though.
Wait, I'm pleading with you. I don't have time.
Remember,
I'm pleading with you.
He did that to me, right? He did that to me.
Ghana, we have the Data Protection Act 2024.
Good.
We have the Electronic Transactions Act 2008. We have the Sales of Goods Act 1962. We have the Bank of Ghana Consumer Protection Guidelines. And we have the Advertising Standards Boards. And these are all supposed to be in favor of consumers and the countries. What we are pushing for is that they should consolidate all of this and then bring out the Consumer Protection Bill in one form as a regulation act. Okay, we have been pushing this for so many years. I think Kofi Kapito and the Consumer Protection Agency have been pushing this for a very long time now. This is one of the, this should be one of the grounds where we should have this thing. But Ghana has regulations.
That's what I'm saying.
And we are saying,
Use the policy.
That.
Which is the law?
We are
have
saying
they breached any law?
When you are dealing with multinationals,
yes,
you ought to give them that rope. And I think that
give them the time
we have partnered some of these multinational companies.
I believe in domestication.
All right, so
if you cannot afford DSTV,
what is happening?
You don't sit down and say that. Where is the policy? Who is the regulation?
A lot of Ghanaians would want to watch these games and other things.
Right. Okay. All right.
So you don't until the
let me read a few messages that have come in.
You negotiate before the season.
Let me read a few messages.
You negotiate in the off season.
No, hold on. I just want to read a few messages. Hold on. Yes, gentlemen. All right. So this says, this is from Johnny Lante Vanderpool. He says, "Hi, Rosalind. Welcome back. You're gorgeous. Thank you so much. The wisest thing DSTV must do is to reduce their subscription prices. However, the sector minister should use the same panache to push for more important issues, okay, abysmal internet connections and exorbitant data prices is crashing businesses. Honestly, DSTV is more of a luxury than a necessity. MultiChoice subscribers should watch Joy Prime and TV3 for top drawer TV content and ditch DSTV, period. All right, so good morning, Roslyn, and your panelists, please. What that doctor talking about, is he for Ghana or what? Rosie, please ask Dr. Zaato whether Nanado was a youth, but as our grandfather, look at how he misled. Okay, I'll do just one last one. Okay, Dr. Zaato is missing something beautiful, Roslyn. This country came to a halt after the plane crash, and the first date of the minister fell in that era, but Zaato has never spoken Ghana to him. NPP and Sisala East is what matters. I miss you and welcome back. Masaraman Sola to Nakal. All right, unfortunately, time will not permit us for any more. So let me say a very big thank you to you, gentlemen, for spending your morning with us today. So thank you so much, Dr.
Zaato has to apologize.
Cut off your
Zaato has
and take Joy Prime.
Thank you to you.
And for domestication, cut off your DSTV, take Joy Prime. If you go for DSTV, pay for DSTV.
I don't want DSTV.
You cannot afford
who represented Movement for Change. My name is Rosie Felly. There's a birthday message. Gentlemen, can I do this birthday message, please? Let me do this birthday message. And it's coming in from... where is it? Hey, where's the birthday message?
You can't even watch this.
Gentlemen, hey, let me land it.
They don't burn charcoal.
Okay. Can I
You are not a Gonja. You are not a Kasina. You cannot say that.
Can I do this birthday message?
You cannot.
Wait, gentlemen.
Only the Gonjas and the Kasinas have the right to say that. You cannot say that.
So we have to do this birthday